Hello, and welcome to another episode of playing Crusader Kings 3 on the hardest possible rule set, starting as Duchess Matilda of Tuscany in 1066. So, to do a brief recap of what has happened to date, early in the game, Robert the Fox, who starts as the Duke of Apulia, was the main character. He put together a massive empire of Italia, which he then converted into a reformed Holy Roman Empire after he had destroyed the first one. And we were the Queen of Italy under that massive Holy Roman Empire, expanding, everything seeming to go quite smoothly. Heinrich IV actually took over after Robert the Fox died as the ruler, emperor of that unified Holy Roman Empire. And he continued conquering. You can see it was just a massive realm that stretched from Spain to Russia, included much of the Anatolian Peninsula, parts of Africa, everything going very well. Then, when Heinrich IV died, quite surprisingly, his realm split into three pieces: Hispania, Italia, and then the remainder of the Holy Roman Empire. At that same time, the Abyssinians, even though they're located down here primarily in Egypt and Abyssinia, had conquered France. And so he went from what was looking like a very stable game where we would simply keep conquering under the protective umbrella of the Holy Roman Empire led by a scourge conqueror, to a game that is much more dynamic, and we really have to think about the decisions that we want to make. So when the former HRE split, there was a very weak ruler in Italia, I believe a 16-year-old who we quickly overthrew, usurped, so we could take control of our own destiny. He was not a scourge conqueror. Similarly, we have the Holy Roman Empire here, I believe led by our brother-in-law, strangely enough. Our sister is his older wife. He's also not a scourge conqueror, as you can see. He's also facing a claim on his throne where the attackers are much more powerful than him. And the third part, Hispania, see, that did end up being ruled by a scourge conqueror, someone who's currently excommunicated and who is slow. So not the world's greatest scourge conqueror, but a scourge conqueror nonetheless. You can see he's quite young, likely to be around for quite a while. Though he is defending against multiple wars. If you're a scourge conqueror and you lose 3 wars, you lose the conqueror trait. Same for regular conquerors for that matter. And so really it's quite a mess. The good news is that we are in control of our own destiny. Here as the Empire of Italia, we just got that and ended some additional wars for parts of its territory in the last episode. So we can figure out what we need to do from here. Also worth noting that we are currently playing as Duchess Matilda's son, now Emperor Marino. He is a 5-star martial education character, an exalted warlord. One of the ironies and sort of twisted turns of fate, you just really never know what character you're going to need. For much of Duchess Matilda's life, she had designated one of his brothers, a stewardship character, to be her heir. And unfortunately, that stewardship character wandered off into a bog and was never seen again. And for much of last episode, I was really wishing that I'd had that stewardship character and could just focus on building up the realm, setting a strong foundation for the dynasty's conquest yet to come. But given the situation that we're in here, with this fractured Holy Roman Empire, all these different pieces, I'm actually quite glad that we ended up with Emperor Marino and his powerful martial abilities. The other issue with Emperor Marino is he did not have any children with his first wife. So currently we only have 2 children, both of whom are very young. A 4-year-old quick son and a 1-year-old genius daughter. Hopefully we'll be having more genius children with our genius wife here. All right, let's see if we can get our wife to become our own religion, which we should do easily. So, we just grabbed the just got the empire title. I think the first thing we want to do is see if we can get the papacy to bless our anointment. Looks like we have to give him gold. He's in good health. He should be available. Let's see. He's not traveling, is he? No. Okay. So I think let's get anointed. May have seen that we might have a faction or not. Okay. So I guess we don't have any factions. Let's look to see what's going on in our royal court. Guess we can try to make this courtier a gardener. I don't know that we really care. She does get the trait, great. Just check if there are any new artifacts we can get. There don't seem to be. These plagues aren't near our capital, so I don't think we need to worry about them. Know that we haven't held a coronation. I'll take care of that. Might as well work off some stress. See in the tips here what's going on. I think maybe we just destroy this. I usually don't repair gray or green artifacts. Can improve accolades. That's important. Probably a result of the wars we just fought. Does this guy have a good? He does not. Thug and scoundrel. Not really that great. We don't have to improve them, so I don't think we will. We can make another accolade knight. Could do besieger, but I think let's hold off here. I don't think we have to deal with anything else at the moment. Our succession is a little bit messed up because the kingdom of Sardinia and Corsica has an elective title. It'll be going to our brother at the moment instead of our young son. That should fix itself over time as our son gets older. In any event, if we lose it, it's not a big deal. We are holding an empire title, so this king level title still remain within our realm. Other things we do want to look at, we get another regiment slot here. We can't yet make armored horsemen. See how far away we are. We're currently researching men-at-arms. If we went to armored horsemen, this did be 14 years, so quite a while. So I guess we don't get them. We have 2 regiments of pikemen. Certainly don't need any more of them, I don't think. Let's get some more armored footmen. Again, the traditional backbone of European armies, most armies for that matter. We do want our military to be as powerful as possible. Other thing we see, since she became an emperor, we have another domain holding slot. Rather shockingly, we were actually below our domain holding limit. Something that could not be said for most of this game. We were over it. You can see as part of playing on the hardest possible rule set is that we were playing with domain limit -3. So in a regular game, we'd have a domain limit of 10. We have plenty of room to get more counties, but here there's just one more county that we could get to stay within our limit. There are 2 counties in the Duchy of Tuscany that we don't own. I want to take a look at whether we can get those. And one thing I do want to do, and this may very well trigger a factions in rebellion is get our crown authority up. We briefly had increased it to 2 under Matilda before a Liberty faction caused it to go down to 1. You know, we have this very powerful martial character. We have completed the Overseer tree along with the Strategist tree. I think if our vassals try to attack us, you know, we'll just take them on. We switched to learning at the very end of last episode because our character got smallpox. He has pulled through, so we are going to be going up to limited crown authority law with the plans that, you know, we will defend that if we have to. I'm curious if we have any chance of being able to revoke these titles here. Looks like the answer is going to be no. There are additional penalties in terms of revocation because of we're playing on very hard, and so vassals are even less likely to agree to have their titles revoked. Looks like we cannot do it. So what we'll do with our extra domain limit here is just build a new castle holding in Florence, and we'll just, you know, hold that sort of sub-barony as our 7th, and that'll work well because whoever our successor is not going to have the ability to hold a 7 domain at the beginning of their realm, so we can just give that away to a baron and then take it back if we need it. Now that we are likely annoying our vassals, let's hold our coronation and move on from there. I think we do want to impress attendees. We do want a caravan master, among other things. Let's see how expensive it is to go maximize everything for our coronation. Almost 1,000, but I think we'll be okay with that. We can see here's the Liberty faction. Not a huge surprise. I guess we can help by giving away the Duchy of Swabia, which by holding it, that gives us 3 duchies, which means there's a -15 opinion modifier to all of our vassals because of that. So we'll grant Swabia to the person who holds the duchy building. That should significantly reduce our vassals who are angry at us. Man, they are really mounting up. Okay. So we'll see what this looks like after our coronation. This is our niece who we were educating since it's possible that she might be our heir. And I think that's much less likely now. I think we just want our son to be marshal at this point. You know, maybe or maybe not. It would have been good to have a stewardship character who could build some more buildings, but at this point, I think we're just going to be going marshal from here on out, most likely. Let's see if there's anything else we can do. Well, that guy we can get, if there's a seat available in the council, we can give it to him. Looks like this is the, okay, fine. So this guy used a weak hook to get on, so we can't remove him, so we cannot satisfy that part. Anything else we can do? Uncrowned, I will be fixing here shortly. Doesn't like that we're in Confederate partition. It's a bit odd. All right, well let's continue on. That's such a weak alliance. I don't think I want it. Take the prestige here. Not giving people weak hooks. We'll get the magnificent brooch. Let's see. Not going to encourage infighting inside our realm. I am happy to give away, people's opinion of me. He has some good stats. I think I'd rather come closer to forming a friendship with this guy and get diplomacy. Happy to accept this present, sure. Okay. Sadly, I became disfigured at a grand tournament. Probably like to go in some more grand tournaments if there are more. The AI, because we're going very hard, AI makes a lot of gold and gets a discount to the cost of activities. They often hold a lot of events, particularly grand tournaments. But I think maybe because of all the confusion and anarchy caused by the three-way split of the old Holy Roman Empire, that they haven't been holding as many events. So, interesting issue here. We could probably get claims. We need what, 20, 21 counties? We could probably get claims to do that. Depending on what happens to the Holy Roman Empire, we have a claim on East Franconia, which I think alone is 10 counties. And then, we just need to get claims on a few more duchies. Have to see what happens with Hispania here in terms of their losses. Also want to keep an eye on Hispania because we may need, especially if they win these wars or when they finish the wars, either way, we may want to become their tributary at low levels of taxes, levies, anything like that. Because he is a scourge conqueror. It says they're inferior. That's because currently we have a lot of allies. I'm not sure if that's true. I think if he attacked us, we'd have a really hard time defeating him. So we do want to be quite careful of him. I think the issue is the issue kind of with Shape the Realm is just that I just don't know that we'd have great opportunities. If this guy dies, that could be interesting. It's going to be a risk if we do Shape the Realm. Sorry, if we do Expand the Realm, it's going to be a risk. Shape the Realm, I think, would be safer. We're making enough gold that we could do that. The issue is you might want to Expand the Realm just to get that extra vassal opinion from Glory Hound or belligerent vassals. Yeah, I think so. I think we'll Expand the Realm. It'll be a little bit tricky, but I believe we'll get it. I think it's worth doing. that opinion bonus could, truly be the difference between rebellions or not. Someone is trying to murder me. I do have on redoubled guard, so I think I'll be okay. And this unlanded guy, I think I'd rather have the opinion bonus with our vassals. There is that. So the faction is down to 94% military power. Again, if they want to go, this guy should drop out. So I think the faction, we should contain it. And again, if they're at 95% power, if they want to fight, let's go. I do not think it'll turn out well for them. My character is a quite powerful martial character. You can see the faction drop below the military threshold. We're not currently swaying anyone. Let's sway them to get them even lower, so we just don't have to worry about them. We do want to think about how we want to go about expanding the realm. For this one, I usually just do the top here. I mean, we could do the bottom. Fostering competitiveness is actually quite useful. Let's do the bottom one. Pet our cat. Not sure that we want to fight for East Franconia right now. At the moment, our brother-in-law, who I believe is our ally, so we couldn't attack them anyway. I assume they don't have enough. Oh, I guess they do. So if we wanted to, so this is something that was added relatively recently, which is laws on guaranteed join versus conditional join. Oh, sure, I know why that happened. If a realm has 160 counties or more, they are forced into conditional join, which means that outside powers can attack that realm's vassals, and the liege will not be able to intervene, at least unless the wars goes on 3 years or more, which is unlikely. But having 160 more counties is not the only way to get into conditional join. If the ruler is fighting a civil war, you see here at the very bottom, defending war leader in civil war, they also become locked into conditional join, and that's what's going on with the Holy Roman Empire here. He's fighting this war on claim for the Holy Roman Empire, and so that is why we would be able to attack East Franconia. I think while we're at it, let's start fabricating claims for West Franconia. Wow, our patriarch here is quite learned, so that's helpful. But in the meantime, let's take on East Franconia. We should be able to take it, and that gets us, a large part of the way to our completing our oath. Don't think we need to pull in any of our allies. Again, given the power of our character, we should be fine doing this on our own. We filled out the strategist tree. Martial, as you saw earlier. So we have engineered for destruction, we have sappers, we have the benefit to siege from being an exalted warlord, so we should siege very quickly, even though we only have one stack of siege engines. I talked before about playing this level of difficulty. I almost always only have one stack of siege engines. And the reason for that is you need a real army to fight the AI, especially to fight scourge conquerors. And also, particularly against scourge conquerors, you're not going to be able to outsiege them. Scourge conquerors get their own extremely powerful bonus to their siege speed. So, in a regular game of CK3, sometimes even if you can't defeat the opposing army head on, the AI doesn't build that much in the way of siege engines, and so often you can just outsiege the AI. Not going to work against the Scourge Conqueror. They will siege far too fast for you. And so you are going to need to beat the Scourge Conqueror's armies. That's going to require you to have a real army, not an army that is just siege equipment. So here, again, we're probably going to have martial characters from here on out. We're really going to be relying on engineer for destruction, sappers, and hopefully exalted warlord to get most of our speed in terms of being able to siege. Also good here that we linked up with Thuringia, which had been one of our, which we'd previously owned. We'd attacked Swabia, the Duke who ruled Swabia, also with Thuringia. We attacked both of them, took them the same war. We are playing on total exclave independence. That means if a ruler dies, all territory that is not connected by either land or sea to the territory containing his capital becomes independent. So we do want all of our land connected. We can't go and get like random duchies in the middle of the Holy Roman Empire or Abyssinia. Okay, so see that for Abyssinia, their old ruler died. They have a new ruler who is deeply in debt. He is a scourge conqueror at the moment, but he's fighting 2 wars. And again, I'm surprised at how debt he has. We'll have to see if he can pull his way out of it. If he does, he could be a very formidable adversary. If not, don't need to worry about as much. I am still concerned about Spain here. I mean, a conservative thing would be to give him some meager tribute. And he's probably going to win both of these wars. Then the concern is, does he turn on us? I mean, it is going to cost us some gold. Yeah, I think let's be conservative here and become his tributary. We'll see how much gold it costs us. Currently we have 53 monthly income. It cost us about 20 a month. Could pay 750 to pay him nothing. So that's what, like a little over 3 years in taxes. Yeah, I think that's the right thing to do. So we'll lose that gold, but it should go back up to 50 income a month. Go with the earthly matters. Probably because zealous is a good trait for martial rulers, so you're fine with having it. Okay, looks like my sister, who was married to the current Holy Roman Emperor, just died. That nullified our alliance with them. Let's see what other wars we can fight here. As far as our claim knight, it's the different one. You know, stalwart is good, gives toughness. It's travel safety. Tactician is good, martial lifestyle experience and men-at-arms counter efficiency. Contender also useful. Kind of think we'll go with stalwart. We probably want to invite some knights to see if we can fill our third acclaimed knight spot. We'll do that. Keep forging claims on West Franconia here. Hopefully we get a duchy claim, especially with our realm priest extremely high learning. In the meantime, we will look for other targets. Looks like one of our vassals already has a claim on West Franconia. I don't really want to attack the Pope. That guy is so powerful. Guess he's had a lot of mercenaries. So I guess the question is, can we attack West Franconia? Yeah. All right. So we'll do this. Do not need our realm priest to fabricate claims on them. Also see if we have enough territory to create the Kingdom of Germany, and the answer is not quite. So let's fight this new war. Again, I don't think we'll need to call in allies. You know, he may have a larger army than us with all of his allies. Just have to see. Probably not ideal to attack them in their own territory, but I think we'll be okay. And we'll have a pretty significant advantage. Our supplies running low. I think we do a better job of countering their armies. Probably just have more men-at-arms in general. So they're going to have a tough time beating us. Siege. this area, we'll be heading over there. Not interested in going someone else's coronation. That grand wedding is quite far away. Once we're done with this war, we may take a look into hosting our own grand tournament, but I'm guessing we don't have the money yet. Also do a grand tour, though we probably want to complete our expand the realm oath first. See another solid victory there. Did seem maybe to have cost us our marshal, master force. Automatic replacement. Undersupplied, which is great. I think we'll be okay. Complete this last siege here. That should get us the duchy. Don't really go to a grand wedding that's far away. See if I can get a learning perk here, hopefully, without getting ill. Good. Let's take a look at our children here. Don't neglect our children, keep them well educated. Make her marshal as well. Let's see, we still have one of our wards as our niece. She is about to come of age, and so then we can make our daughter our ward. Not had many children with our wife here, who is chaste. Maybe that's the reason. There are a bunch of armies in this area. Looks like they're all doing other stuff. We'll make Germany and then put a feudal elective title on it so that I'd say we'll put a feudal elective title on so that it stays in our realm. I mean, at the moment, we wouldn't have to do that because we go to our heir here. We only have one son, so everything is going to go to him. That should increase our monthly income since a lot of these... Actually, I guess it won't. About to say it should increase our monthly income because now people who who used to not be their rightful liege, we still... Okay, I guess we did become their rightful liege. You get a penalty to taxes and levies if you don't hold the title that is vassal's rightful liege. And we did get the title Kingdom of Germany here, though we don't have the correct empire title for them. Does look like, I think there's usually a marker if you're not the rightful liege. Anyway, not going to worry about it. Let's keep attacking here. Let's see if there are other parts of the Holy Roman Empire that we can pick off. Certainly not the entire thing. Instead, we're looking for, really duchies that we can grab. I guess the question is how much. So we need 3 more counties to fulfill our oath. I think let's start fabricating claims in the Duchy of Bavaria. A grand tour is probably going to cost like 3,000 or something. So we may hold tight for a while until we fabricate at least 3 claims, or if any other rulers hold activities, we'll be happy to go to them. For example, though unfortunately we won't make it in time, so okay, so there's our niece done with. Turns of education, we definitely want to immediately educate our daughter. Try to pass on good personality traits to her. Could make our daughter eccentric. You see, most of this washes out except for the monthly lifestyle experience is very powerful. Or we could get 75 renown. Do I really want to make her eccentric? I mean, between that and being a genius, she'll have big benefit to monthly lifestyle experience. If we were to have her as a ruler, losing to diplomacy is not great. I think we just take the renown and try to get her better traits as she grows up. Not going to a coronation. Let's see, where is this? Grand wedding. Guess we could go to it. While we wait on these claims to be fabricated, and seeing how things pan out here. Let's take the gold. My courtier's not liking me. I don't care very much. So it looked like this guy was in serious problems. I think he had like negative 80%. He's pulled it back a little bit. I think we just hold on to our gold for now. Again, like to have a grand tour after and we complete our oath. So that's 1 county. Ideally, we're going to claim the entire duchy here. Our Empress is having another child, which probably is very good. If it's a boy, we'll have to take another look at our succession, and maybe put the elective, feudal elective on the Kingdom of Germany, like we were talking about earlier. But not a big deal. Looks like we've got to plus 100 with the person we're swaying, so let's sway some different people here. Guess we could become her friend. Why not? And of course, why not? Because we get stressed when she dies, but I think we'll be okay. So Abyssinia does have positive gold. Is that the same person? I guess so. Didn't realize their leader was a woman. Right? Yeah, Grand Matriarch. Okay. I think we'll go for martial lifestyle experience. Likewise here. Try to marry her to someone who is either intelligent or genius, or at least has some good trait. That looks good. I forgot to make it matrilineal. I think this kid is from our dynasty, so it won't really matter. He'll still get the benefit from the 3 blood tree dynasty legacies that we have. So the conservative course here is to go thoughtful. It's really the most powerful, one of the most powerful perks to manage your vassals, especially if you have some gold. The other option really is to go heart of the family and then get groomed to rule. You could go either way, but I think at this point we won't need thoughtful. So let's try to get groomed to rule. I'm hoping my character is powerful enough to put down any rebellions using the sword instead of needing to send people money. Okay, another daughter, genius daughter. It's too bad our son couldn't be a genius. Normally I would go with the first one for famous visitor and development and holding tax growth, but don't really want the stress. I think maybe just go this option here. Getting pretty close to sanctioned loopholes. So instead of having to fabricate claims, we can use our piety to buy them soon. Take the stress loss. Just take a second look if this guy has anything good. Not yet. Check if there are guests I've been neglecting, particularly people that might make good knights. Feel like I invited knights and I got a couple, but not all the ones I expected. pike captain is not out of the question. We do have 2 regiments of pikes. All right, I think let's actually go. Yeah, pike captain. Okay. Don't think I want to go bureaucratic. How big is our realm? So 91. Yeah, I usually don't go administrative government until I'm much larger, like at least double. Would be nice if Abyssinia could lose these 2 wars. That would put at least 2 losses on her record. And again, if she gets 3 losses, she would cease being a conqueror, which would make our lives easier. So probably just make him just. It's not the greatest trade anymore, but does give a decent amount of vassal opinion. Give stewardship and learning, so that's what we'll do. I think we can also influence his personality and try to make him diligent. As we did. Daughter study a language. Could have another female ruler following in Matilda's footsteps. Okay, so usually that language to me suggests a soft approach. Where is the plague? So it is probably going to spread to our realm. Let's isolate the capital. Especially, I think that's a measles plague. I think we can enter seclusion for now. I mean, the concern is our children. If our children get that, even though it's minor, there's a reasonably high chance of them dying. Let's put our physician on control plagues. Okay, so we should have pretty good resistance to it. 77. We'll just continue to fabricate some claims here while we see exactly where this plague goes. We really don't want our children to die. Quite old. If all my children die, I'm not sure I'll be able to have children that become adults by the time this character passes away. Okay, we'll take all of Bavaria. Just a matter again of seeing what happens with this plague here. Friends died, triggering a stress break, but easily handle it. Not giving this guy to my courtiers. Yeah. Yeah. Probably would have gone to that tournament if I could make it in time. It looks like the plague is calming down here. So I think, let's see if we can attack Bavaria and take it without having to fight the entire HRE. He has a good amount of gold, so we're probably going to face some extra mercenaries, but I have confidence in our ruler, and so I think this will work. And they really don't like putting me at the head of the army. Had another friend die, another stress break. As typical, we will complete the siege and then go out after their armies. So look at the attrition. Yeah, I'm a bit surprised we're not hostile with these guys, but we're not, so that's fine. Okay, a couple of nice stack wipes there. It's all good. See, he just hired some mercenaries, almost certainly. Yep. Surely it's be too little, too late. Unless something goes drastically wrong for me. It did not. We'll give the title in these two counties to dynasty member. Hopefully he'll be able to govern them appropriately. Do need to look at our professions here. I mean, I guess we cannot get an excellent tutor. It's a bit unfortunate. The plague, looks like the plague is done. So we will emerge from seclusion and end the capital isolation. We'll try to get our stress down here. Though I think what we'll try to do now, we'll expand the realm, complete our oath. And what we'll see is whether we can go on a good grand tour, be a taxation tour still. Interesting. Hit all these counties and Corsica and Sardinia. I want both mountaineers and sea captains. We shouldn't need to increase the starting success of our tour. Getting 10 spots, it's almost guaranteed. Getting some more prestige though might not hurt. Okay. So hopefully our tour is successful. We can start looking into building more buildings as well. I would like to have enough gold to host a grand tournament. That's not essential, really. Let's see, how close are we to getting Bavaria? Just need one county. So we'll try to get trying to solve Salzburg. Okay, so this is originally Salzburg. Assume this guy is not too powerful. Should have looked. Nah. He's got some allies, but I think we'll be okay. So we will have our excellent bishop start fabricating claims in Salzburg. Maybe we can grab the Kingdom of Bavaria. I don't really want to do this for various reasons, and so I won't. Mostly just don't want to participate in someone else's wars, rather let my gold build up. And ideally we can hold a grand tournament after our grand tour is done. Hopefully we finally get some good artifacts. Let that guy go. He's quite old, obviously. Don't want to give him a hook. Speaking of hooks, guess we'll give it a try here. Have very high learning. So that worked out for us. Let's see if we can increase his taxes here. Yep. Plague quite far away from the capital, so I won't worry about it too much. Try to get more gold. Always want more gold. Here, noble tutoring, more lifestyle experience. Happy to have that as well. Take a look at our children again. Well educated, have more languages, get commander traits, all that good stuff. There, I was fine with the stress break because we're on a grand tour. I'm going to lose a lot of stress over the course of the tour. So the stress I picked up from that should not be a real concern. Again, I'm not going to pay this guy because of my cat. Increase his taxes. Another good chunk of gold here, so let's look at our buildings. We're up to a very strong 32 development in Florence. Get the development up in Siena as well. Always want more taxes, more gold. Really don't have that much. Talked before, I don't really consider myself to have enough gold until I have about 200,000 gold in the bank and about 1,000 monthly income, which we are obviously nowhere near. Fabricate more claims while I'm on my grand tour. And usually I just destroy these. That one actually might be good enough. Obviously very situational. determine if there's a major plague in our capital, if I get the plague, and I'll try to maximize my existence. You know, pet dogs give more health. Obviously, you can get the event where the cats and dogs fight. Let's hope they don't. Usually I just do the bottom one. Guess we'll take the tiny amount of stress here to increase cultural acceptance. Make my Sardinian vassals less likely to rebel against me. That's, you know, very poor artifact, so if he wants it, he can have it. We will develop our capital. Again, it's a lot of stress, but we should get rid of it over the course of this grand tour. It's a close argument here, but I think I'd rather have the cultural acceptance. Again, cultural acceptance. Well, now I think we should be up to like 90% cultural acceptance with the Sardinians. Yeah, 93%, so don't want to spend gold. Do want tribute, of course. That, you know, is obviously a useless artifact. Check out our buildings again. So Florence, there's lots of things we can build, including improving the Duomo. It's very expensive. It does have some fairly nice benefits. All right, let's spend the money. Wife is pregnant again with what will almost certainly be her final child, given that she's 45. Dance with my wife. Always want tribute. Continue to fabricate claims on Duchy of Salzburg. This has been quite a long civil war, going on for 9 years now. Obviously, it's been great for me since I've been able to take 2 huge duchies from the Holy Roman Empire because they've been in a civil war. So we're going to go down the warfare tree, need every advantage we can get, especially when we're fighting scourge conquerors. Check our children again. So, you know, this daughter is not naturally martially inclined. Could give her a stewardship education. Yeah, I just think at this point we're going to want martial characters from here on out. How bad is my prowess? Oh, 8. Yeah, it's bad. Okay. Yeah, I'm 64. I mean, even wonder, frankly now, I wonder if it is worth trying to host a grand tournament. He's really getting up there. I think we'll probably just pass actually in the grand tournament. So let's take another look at our buildings. Do we want to improve them? Yeah. Medium health boost, I think, is clearly what we want there. And we do want to be alive for all of our children to mature into adults. Don't want to give him a hook. So look, I'm assuming it's a very long time before we can increase our crown authority again, but do want to keep in mind Quinn. Okay, so we have an intelligent son here. Don't want to commit adultery. So let's stop here and take a look at what our succession looks like. Succession looks like we lose the entire kingdom of Germany. Don't really want that to happen. So as we talked about, we are going to put a succession law, typically feudal elective. We could go with these others, but the only one we're actually able to do is feudal elective, so we do that. And then, at least for the moment, we direct them all to our oldest son. That's bad. So we need to get another duchy title that is not in either Germany or Sardinia, Corsica. I think we'll be okay in terms of doing that. Can these people just rob you? I've looked before, but we're not able to change. Oh, we are able to change the partition. Okay, that works. Might help. Let's see what we are now. No, still same thing. So we could do, now that we have partition, is hold on to the county, sorry, the Duchy of Salzburg, which I think we will certainly get here. Let's take a look at a geopolitical situation. But yeah, I think we can get, the Duchy of Salzburg, have it go to my young son here. That should be okay. Abyssinians, yep, still scourge conquerors. Hispania, still a scourge conqueror. Holy Roman Empire fighting its never-ending civil war. Don't think anyone else around looks like that they are scourge conqueror. Wales, Alba. Interesting that he's the King of Wales. He is from the House Normandy and now rules England. Most of England, at least. I have to form a friendship with them. I think we'll just take piety there. Continue to build up our realm. One thing I want to start thinking about is building military buildings in our domain. get more slots. I guess we'll take the stress here. Should be able to use our surprisingly high learning to win. Let's see if we can. I guess we can't change his contract. Easy to go with that middle option for that decision to avoid angering the vassal. Do that option to avoid stress. Might as well get some more courtiers. So is that the end? Is that the last stop? Looks like yes. See, gold situation's improving here. I hate to do this, but we are going to go at the bottom. Just don't want to spend that much gold. So again, got the renown, got magnificent liege modifier. So all good stuff. And now we're up to 77 gold a month. I think we'll fabricate this last claim on Augsburg and go get it. So, why is he getting CNN or Beano instead of getting Duchy of Amelia? Oh, the Duchy of Amelia is feudal elective. Okay, fine. I understand. We will give out the Duchy of East Franconia. Keep going. Okay, plague is sent us by Satan. Means we need, at least the way I interpret that, we need esoteric practices. That's what we do. Consumption. That is bad, especially an apocalyptic level consumption plague. So we will go back into isolation, seclusion. We'll check that our position is on controlled plagues. Yes. She succeeded in increasing our plague resist of 100, so that's good. I'll take learning experience. Now we actually have sanctioned loopholes. So we shouldn't need to spend gold fabricating claims after this last one here. Just buy duchies if we need them. Going blind. Which isn't good. Especially as a martial character, but the character is quite old, so probably lucky that this is the first older trait that I've got. Youngest son has crop consumption, so that's not great. Guess we'll try and make him calm. He learned another language, yes. daughter. So let's see if we can make her a faithful blade. Also have her study a language. City for the gold. Take some of these stress reduction decisions. So kind of just waiting out the consumption plague here. Okay. Well, guess that fixes the succession. Unfortunate that he died, since he was intelligent. I mean, there's still the option to go with one of our genius daughters, depending on how their traits and education come out. To switch to them, I would need them to be adults and then elevate them to be co-monarch. So really don't want to catch consumption here. Probably kill me. So her, we'll make her just. Try to make her diligent. Okay. That's a pretty good collection of traits. We can try to give her calm as well. So curious, yes, that's high. Stewardship and learning, and martial isn't that great, given that she does have a martial education. And she had, a childhood trait bossy, which was good for martial. Okay, we'll look at improving these accolades. It's the same guy who can't, yeah. Okay, so not going to improve him. You and you. I think we have enough gold. We just hire a wet nurse. Usually get someone who's at least a good aptitude. Make sure she is instilling virtue. Yes. Guess we'll take the stress loss. Just take a look at our building more buildings. I think here let's build blacksmiths and then barracks. Sienna. More farms and fields here. We'll get another rank of the windmill. Maybe get walls here. Try to again leave a powerful domain to our heir, whatever that is. Again, here we're really just trying to wait out this apocalyptic consumption plague. Guess we could try the leeches. They worked. That's good. great. Guess we could equip that. Yeah, probably should have done this already, but let's. Okay, we already do have it equipped. All right. So nothing else we could have done. Just have to see if our character pulls through now. I guess if we wanted to, we could reset our perks, but that would send us into the second level of stress, which would be quite bad. So instead of doing that, I think we just hope we don't die. Rather have some sort of combat related attribute for my claim knights. Take another look at our heir, see if we can do anything with them. Probably what will happen is that we'll die right after he comes of age, and so we won't get the option to choose one of our genius daughters. But that's life. All we can hope is that he has received a good education between me and my tutor. I do not have the Know Thyself perk, so won't know when I'm about to die. Looks like most of my family has consumption now. Obviously not good. This consumption plague has been going on for quite a while. Doesn't seem to show any signs of abating. Okay, at least our son is a brilliant strategist. Can we find a genius woman to marry him to? I see at least one there. Let's see if there are others. Nope, just her. I mean, she does have quite good stats and strong personality traits, so that'll work. At least we do have a good adult heir if I do die here from consumption. Hopefully my son does not get consumption. Talked in a prior series about how consumption is arguably the most annoying plague, because most plagues, you get them, you live or die within 3 to 12 months. For consumption, it just goes on and on, for 3 to 5 years sometimes. Okay, so that is that. Did in fact die of consumption. I'll be playing as our very young son. And that is a good place to stop the episode. Just zoom out of our realm, make sure nothing wacky happened. Fortunately, we did lose the claims we would have had on Augsburg. I don't really think there's much we could have done there. Still have Spania as our suzerain. Okay, so thanks very much for watching. Please tune in for the next episode, and we'll see where it goes from there. Thanks. Bye.